Are you thinking about setting up a storage facility and want to utilize shipping containers? Or do you already own a traditionally built storage facility and want to add some containers to increase your capacity? Follow along in this video and we're going to show you the pros and cons of using shipping containers and some nifty tricks to partition off individual stalls, which will decrease your input costs and lower your payback period. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Channing McCorston, the Container Guy. We get tons of phone calls of people looking to set up storage facilities, and a lot of times they want to grab used containers because they cost less and then install a bunch of roll-up doors in the sides of a can. And often this isn't necessarily the best idea to go about this because the initial cost is still quite high when you modify a container, and then the asset isn't necessarily worth as much when you're all said and done. So a lot of times the best way to go about using containers as a storage facility is to use one-time use containers and don't modify them so that that asset retains its value, and in 10 years it's likely worth more than what you paid, not less. Follow along, I'm going to show you this one right behind me here. We have some 4 side door shipping containers. These are a specialty container. They're built like this in China, and so these are all sealed up. They utilize the existing container doors. They have lock boxes on them, which is very secure for your clients. And yeah, they're rodent proof, wind and water tight, great storage, way better than traditionally built with just the roll-up doors. So being a brand new container, they're super easy to open and close the doors, and they have waist height handles. So typically on a normal container that's used, the handles are way down here because the semi-drivers need to be able to open the container while they're sitting on the ground or standing on the ground, and the container's sitting on a container chassis. That's a huge advantage there. And then just the final advantage with these 4 side door 40-foot units, you can line them up. This is 80 feet already, and so it really allows you to visualize the perimeter of a yard being lined with containers, and allowing you, especially if you have a traditional storage facility already and all of your storage bays are in the center, to increase your capacity of your facility. Here we are pulling the container into our shop for the installation of the CSM brackets. You'll have to remove the D-rings if they line up where you need your strut channels to mount the partition walls. For installing these CSM brackets, check our other videos if you've purchased them and need to know exactly how to install them either in the insulated or non-insulated positions. We are installing the channel in the non-insulated position to minimize the gap between each sectioned off area. In these specialty 40-foot high cube 4 side door cans, we use a 3-piece partition wall kit. The partition wall panels bolt into the strut channel with regular bolts and spring nuts. To ensure someone is not able to remove the wall and steal the neighbor's goods, we rotate the middle panel and use bolts with stover nuts, which require a wrench on the other side to loosen. If you don't have access to both sides, you cannot remove the partition wall. Here we are using 5/16 sheet metal screws which don't shear off going through the hard container flooring like a lag bolt would. So we'll crack one open, show you the insides of this, and then show you the partition walls that we built that allows this 40 to be rented out to 4 different people. And this here would be an 8x10 storage bay. Another interesting thing to note is that a lot of people actually only want this size of a storage slot. So it'd be a lot of like transient students that are heading home for the summer, needing to rent something, but even 8x20s and 8x40s definitely are way too big. So if you can partition containers off utilizing these 4 side door cans, and then we have a nifty partition wall here that I want to show you. What's cool about them is they can actually be installed so that you'd see the finished face on one side and then what we call kind of the framed opening on the other. But if we rotate the center panel, now if someone's in this container, they can't actually unbolt this from either side of the can because they don't have the wrench on the other side. So it's secure on both sides. And so if one person's renting this, they can't break through and steal the next person's goods. Often municipalities require a fire separation either between stalls or say if this was within 30 feet of another building. And so if it's between stalls, what we can do is install all 3 of these panel sections regularly, and then we can install 1 layer or 2 layers of drywall on this, which would give fire separation between each base. Another thing we didn't do here, but we know in British Columbia is already code, is for any storage facility, it requires ventilation. And so we have our big Air 45 vents. Those would work great, 1 high, 1 low, give good cross flow ventilation. And the reason for this actually is if there's flammable fuel or gases inside these cans and it gets so hot and something explodes, it'll actually blow the container doors right off a sea can, and firefighters have been hit with the doors and killed. And so that now is code, and realistically this customer and everyone should be ventilating the individual slots of storage facilities. These 4 side door shipping containers have 1 stock shipping container vent on the end wall here, or the back side, and then another one on the container doors. But these should hardly be called vents because they only ventilate the size of a dime, and they're more meant for depressurization in the container rather than ventilation. Another option for getting multiple storage bays out of a single container is to utilize 40-foot double door containers or 20-foot double door containers and have a partition wall in the center. So here behind me, I have 2 that are going to the same customer, and they have a partition wall in the middle. So these are 40-foot high cube double doors, and they're gonna have 2 8x20 storage slots in each of them. So we'll jump inside and show you how these look. These here are our stocked partition walls. We carry them for both standards and high cubes. What's different about these is that they are a 4-piece design. They install the same way as the partition wall kit shown previously, except for these, the middle section can be removed and our dual swinger man door can be installed in its place. Because it's lined up in an upper roof corrugation, we add foam tape to fill the gap at the ceiling. All in all, these partition wall kits seal up very well. They don't let much for light or dust through, and they're just such a time saver for us compared to the way that we used to do it. And so here you can see these are a one-time use container. They're super clean, and it's a super durable construction that's gonna last forever. Another nice thing about new containers is you can get them with a coated flooring. So if one client, I guess, spills oil or whatever, it's relatively easy to clean up rather than use containers with the teak flooring. So if you get new containers with the eco bamboo floor or the polyurethane coated flooring, you can really prevent spills and difficult cleanup with these one-time use shipping containers. So here again, the same partition wall kit that we have that's super modular, can be moved around very easily and installed by yourself. So say if you're down way far away from us and you want to buy these partition wall kits, we can palletize them and ship them anywhere. So check us out, tcg.ca, or email parts@thecontainerguy.ca, and we do have these kits available for sale. That right there is how you partition off shipping containers to create a storage facility. Storage is a great source of retirement income, and it's a good idea if you have land already and you're able to plunk these containers on it. If you enjoyed this video or found the information and the advice helpful, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell for notifications. And as always, check us out at tcg.ca. Hope you learned something.